Okay, so I'm just getting this going. Started a live video. All right. I'm gonna have to mess around with this a little bit. Hi, Raya. Let's see. Now I'm gonna have to add Shan at some point. Let's see. There you are. Shan, request to join. Let's see. Let's see. There you are. I'm going to invite you. So, for anybody who doesn't know me, thank you for joining. My name is Noor Sava, and I grew up in New Jersey, born in Syria. And hey, there
Oh,
he
hello.
is.
Wow, this is happening. Holy moly.
Yeah, thank you
I'm not
so
used to
much, Shan.
FaceTiming, so this is new to me.
I know, I know. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart for you joining me on this maiden voyage with this new page.
Well,
I
it's my
have
honor.
a knack for making
I'm,
these. Thank you so much.
of course, I'm just shocked that you asked me to do this. I would have recommended you start with a
Huh?
doctor or someone.
Are you kidding?
Scientist.
How could you say that?
I'm
Shocked
kidding. I'm
at? Why would
kidding.
you
I
be
know I'm
shocked?
special. I know. I know.
Yeah, I know you're all that. Come on. Come
Yeah.
on.
How's it in Turkey?
All
What time is it
right.
now?
It's 11:04 p.m.
Well,
So
you see,
that's why I'm fully dressed.
it's much better here. It's 3 o'clock, so
Yeah, we did that. 3 o'clock came and went over here. So
yeah,
we
yeah.
got the old stuff,
Well,
the
thank
old
you, thank you.
sunshine.
You're definitely doing the tougher job here.
No
So
problem.
yeah, tell me
Okay,
about your what's going on.
so I made this page.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to do things that make me feel happy. So I
Okay, that's
feel
good.
like this page will bring not only me a lot of joy, but I get to talk to awesome people, which is great. And we get to talk about cool things, the things that are, kind of important that I haven't had conversations about with other Circassian, Caucasian people. So, again, thank you so much for joining me.
Of
Um,
course.
please introduce yourself to anybody who doesn't know you. Although I think that demographic is going to be small because,
Come on.
come on, it's Shan,
No, I
guys.
mean I'm sure it's the one and
um,
only.
int- Introduce yourself. What's your connection to the Caucasus? Where have you lived? What's your origin story? Are you the good guy or the
Well,
bad guy?
I can be both. I think we all can be
Well,
both at sometimes. But I would
all
like to be
right.
a better guy at most of the
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but I'm Shan, one of a lot of Shans in America apparently. In Syria there was only two of us. So that's a
Oh,
good
wow.
start.
I'm sure there's
Uh
more now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They keep growing. There's so many Shans. It's like Mustafas of Circassians,
That's
for
true.
example.
That's a
Um
popular one.
yeah, it got popular with time. So yeah, I'm obviously ethnically Circassian from the Caucasus. I have a complex situation because I was born in America, then I moved to Syria. I lived
Hmm.
my whole school years in Syria, um,
Right.
and then I moved back to America. So
Hmm.
yeah, so that's about it. That's how it started, and now I'm here. I'm back in New Jersey. I lived here from since 2009. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
And you do a ton of traveling, which, shows on your page. Whoever doesn't know Shan, I'm going to link his photography page and is your personal page open? Should I link that too? To show all your travels.
I only have like a wedding photography page and a personal page.
Okay.
So
Okay. So I'm just going to
so
be
yeah,
like,
they're
Shan
both
Katkoi,
open.
this is what's up.
Yeah. They're both open. Yeah.
Okay.
They're both open for
Cause,
public. Yeah.
cause like I see Japan, when I was trying to find your cool picture, I saw Abkhazia, I saw the Faroe Islands, Iceland, like boom, 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 boom,
We'll
boom.
try.
Whenever you get the itch, you just, that's good, man. Mashallah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. I think it's one of the most things I enjoy. And part of it is the being spontaneous about it too. I don't like planning too much
Mm,
ahead. It gets me nervous, I guess. Like I can't like you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, so I don't want to plan
right,
things for next year. And I'm like,
right, right.
okay, it's not gonna work out. It looks gonna be tough. So I feel like if there's something I want to do in a week or two or a month, I'm like maybe you should go for it and do
Just
it and
do it.
then study it. Do a
Awesome,
little bit of homework just so I'm not lost completely in the middle of nowhere,
awesome.
stranded, and I just go. And it's not like I go do extreme stuff. Like obviously there's a lot of extreme traveling and a lot of different stuff. Like thank God for Google, like in Google Maps, because without it, you can't do it. Honestly, I don't think I would have done that like the old ways with like a map and little research and
Yeah,
like
no,
you can go to like a country that you don't speak that much like their language or at all of their language and they just get with Google Maps and call it a day. Google Translate, Google
that's how I
Maps.
came. That's how I'm
You
doing
moved to
it in
Turkey,
Turkey.
so that's a big move for you as well. You move
That's
to a
why.
completely new
That's how
environment,
I'm doing it.
and
Like
yeah, it
Google
takes
moving.
courage. Yeah, 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 of course. And obviously, you're gonna be learning more and more.
Yeah.
And a couple years, inshallah, if you stay there and whatever, however long you're gonna be there, you're gonna be a legit Turkish person.
Turk.
Who knows?
Yeah. That's
Turk,
what
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah,
honestly. Yeah, yeah. Who knows, So we're just kind of playing it as we go.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I completely resonate with that. You just sometimes you have to close your eyes and jump. Kind of just,
I do that. I do that
right?
too often. Maybe sometimes I need to do more studied jumps. But hey,
So
you live and
that
you
leads me
learn.
to my next question. Yeah.
Hmm.
Your field of expertise. So you're Shan Kedkoy, photographer extraordinaire. So is
That's
that
that's
how you
that's.
got into photography, or did you actually do some studying before you chose photography? Or did photography choose you?
I
Because sometimes it chooses you, right?
uh I don't know honestly. I never knew what I want to do in life. I want to do too many things. So for me, like to follow through with one thing and make it like this is what I do was hard choice.
Right.
And till this day, I don't know if I'm going to be Sean the photographer next year, like I like to leave myself open for changes and situations and experimenting and challenging. So
Mm,
photography is something that I always wanted to do. Um, in addition to other things that I enjoy, but as a career wise, obviously you get older and you want to like make a living,
yeah.
in a society where this is that you need to make ends meet basically to like support
Right.
yourself and your family. So I found
Right.
my way into photography and especially weddings. That's a consistent paid job that gets you, comfortable financially
Yeah.
where you can do other things in life where you want to do. Like I have a lot of free time. That's why I travel a lot, especially like on weekdays and stuff like that. You know, I do everything I want to do
Mm,
and make a
awesome.
living. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And
Beautiful.
photography started as
Beautiful.
soon I knew I kind of had a plan for it. I didn't know where it's going to take me in terms of photography. It's such an
Right.
open field. So when you look at photography, there's
Mm,
so many different aspects. You can be a nature photographer, a fashion photographer, product photographer, sports photographer. It's an open field. But once you learn camera and
right.
equipment and stuff like that, that you need the technical aspects to it, you take it from there and you move forward. And I don't want to say I stuck in weddings, but I found consistency in weddings, and I find
Right.
I enjoy it. You meet a lot of people. Like on weekends, what do you do on weekends? Oh, I go out. I meet 150 people minimum. I take photos of people and create
Yeah.
memories for them at the end of the day. So why not? It's not a
Right.
bad gig,
Right.
and I enjoy it. Yeah,
Yeah, you're partying every weekend. Why not, right?
yeah. You eat good food, candlelit dinners. What else are you gonna ask for?
Dressed,
So it's not.
right?
It's
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah. And in weekdays, you get
beautiful.
to wear shahatas and shorts and relax. And send emails, obviously, and do
Flexibility.
some editing. Yeah, I work at
There
Starbucks.
you go.
So, yeah.
There you go. That's awesome.
So that's
You
basically
know,
it. Yeah,
I'm
that's my story with photography, basically.
beautiful. Gonna try to homeschool my kid, Idris,
Okay.
and it's that
Uh-huh.
flexibility that's very appealing. So when you talk about
Mm.
photography and your schedule, I'm like, ah, I can kind of resonate with that because we want to be able to do whatever we want
It's
and be on our
honestly, yeah, it's
schedule,
treasure.
right?
In a world where, I mean, you have to be like 9 to 5 and get stuck in a cubicle and work in an office, which
Right.
some people are built for that. I don't think I am,
Yeah.
I think I will struggle like, I mean, honestly, like, what do you call it? Routine is good. It's healthy. It can get
Right.
annoying at sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's secure and it's natural. But I just went a different route. And hey, if the future puts the consistent routine 9 to 5 guy, I'm gonna do it too. You got to do what you got to do. So
Right. Right.
yeah.
Right. Do you have any advice to anybody who is like, let's say, because when we spoke earlier via DMs, you said you'd been taking pictures now for 10 years. So
Hmm.
do you have any advice to somebody that's where you were when you started, like where you were 10 years ago, that maybe is not getting support from their family, like maybe their family's telling them, no, you need like a desk job, or you need something like, like maybe they need something more kind of status quo, but they want to go more of an artistic route. Do you have any advice for people like that? Young
Honestly, like
people?
it's I think with our culture in general, I think family is always involved too much in decisions that you want to make for your
Right,
future. Uh,
right,
but they know honestly, like you can't tell them, oh, don't listen to your family. Go. There's balance in everything. So if you have a
right.
balance of listening to others and then pursuing things that you enjoy with your own will, then that's great. But if your family is forcing you to be a doctor, I told them, like, you ever think I'm gonna be seriously? Like it's just like I don't know, just leave it open and leave yourself open too. You might, like whatever your family might tell you, you might enjoy that too. It might be not like when I graduated high school, for example, I had no clue what I'm doing, no idea.
Mm,
And
yeah, most
like,
of us don't.
like, yeah, yeah, like, and there's like this thing is I got my high school degree from Syria. So in Syria, it's based on
Right.
your grades, you get what you deserve. So if you
Mm,
get like the highest grades, you get to be a doctor. I wasn't going to be a doctor
mm.
because my grades told me you can be an accountant, not even accountant. Like you can be a translator or you can be this, habr shibr stuff. So, so I went
It's like that in
like the
Turkey
only,
too. Turkey's
yeah,
like
like
that.
the only school that I was eligible for is translation. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to be a translator. So I studied translation for
Right.
3 years and I'm like, okay, I'm leaving. So I left.
This
I
sucks.
left.
Sorry.
Yeah, cause yeah, and like I had to do it for 3 years because like college degree and college degree, this and that. And I came here, I wanted to transfer my credits to continue school here, but it was impossible to get. Like I got it translated and approved from the embassy in Syria, came back here.
Wow.
Schools wouldn't take it for some reason. They want it sent from schools in Syria. And good luck
Oh,
telling Damascus Open Universities to send you your grades,
right,
you
right.
know? So I
Yeah,
just gave up on that. I'm like, you know what? Let me buy a camera and start messing around and saying,
awesome.
start learning some stuff with it. I literally read the manual. Like I knew I had a vision, I just didn't know how technically I was gonna implement it into
Right.
life. You see something, you're like, oh, I could see it as a photograph or something. But then you don't know because you don't know the technology of it. So I had to learn cameras, like
Right.
exactly what every button does and how. Why did this camera create this image in that way? So that's basically I had to learn that, and thanks to YouTube, I went to YouTube University, graduated there with a
I was just gonna
honor.
say,
Yeah,
did you graduate
yeah,
from
you can
YouTube
learn. Yeah,
University?
yeah,
That's so
yeah.
funny.
I learned.
We're in
Yeah, so
YouTube
I
University currently.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, partially, yeah. That's part of the new wave of living. But yeah, that's the
Right.
story, and I picked up photography and I went with it.
Awesome.
And if
And
that switches to something else, then maybe it.
hmm, so that's a to be continued on your expertise journey.
Wink, wink. Let's see. Just me and my energy. Right now, I don't want to do anything. I just want to eat.
I
Tomorrow might
know.
be a different story. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about you. I'm still processing 2020, so I'm just like, I don't even know
I'm
what's gonna
processing
happen.
2019, so I
Oh
don't know.
man.
So
Yeah,
still, I'm 2 years behind,
I
but we'll get
know.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so for everybody who's watching, I made a post about it, but basically I came up with so far, it's a working list of 18 questions, and Shan got to pick the ones that he was comfortable talking about, the ones that he felt like he could kind of free ball on, and we're just gonna plow through them. I'm gonna see what's in that head, and then we'll call it. So
I'll give you my two
let's start
cents.
with the first. There you go. Give me five. Give me like three
Yeah,
and a half cents.
I'll give you my 5 cents, but
Okay,
don't take it as a
perfect,
guide for life.
perfect. No problem. No
Yeah.
problem. That's the fine print, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so the first question, how do you connect with your lineage? How did you connect with your lineage, like your culture in the past? And how are you doing so as an adult?
Well, I guess in the past was like I don't know how to explain it, but it was like more of like a romantic idea of who you are, you know? It's like
Yeah,
the casa, the dancing, the
right,
haliva, the stuff, like everything that your family told you about. And then
right,
you take it and it's nice because they only tell you the sweet stuff about culture,
right,
you
right.
know? So you take it and like it gives you pride and it gives you pride and gives you like I like what I am. Like I like where I come from. I like that, like my name is different. I like that, our food is different. I like that we
Mm,
dance a different way. So I used to like look at it in a very romantic way, I would say. Nowadays it's just different. There's more reality into it. There's more the struggle of culture and identity crisis and belonging and community and stuff like that. So maybe now it's a different outlook. Maybe now you look at it as an older person, like how to preserve it, how to keep it, how to maintain it, how to promote it in a nice way,
right.
and how to translate it to the next generation in a way where they don't,
Yeah,
hate it or hate you for it
right,
because
right. It's
there's
important.
ways of there's ways of like forcing it down someone's throat and like saying
Right.
like you gotta be this, you gotta be that, but like there's beauty in it, there's beauty in every culture, but there's reality in every culture. So I try to have a nice balance between my old image of it, the romantic part of looking into it, and now the
Right.
reality and the future of it. So we'll see.
Awesome. I can
Yeah,
completely relate to that. Um,
yeah.
Great. So next question. In your
Hit
mind,
me.
what has changed the culture for the past decade, which turned out to be positive? So any positive changes you've seen over the last 10, whatever many years?
uh, I would think it's one of the, it's maybe it's a general thing about life in general, but I would say social media,
Mm,
internet, connectivity. Uh, I think obviously there's so many negative things that we can look for into social media specifically, but I
right.
think one of the positive things about a culture where we don't have a place that we can call home exactly. Like we're not Italian. We can say, "Oh, Italy," and everybody's like,
Right.
"Oh, Italy, yeah, yeah, you're from Italy. Oh, it's pizza, whatever stereotypes." You know, or you can't,
Right.
like you say Circassian. Oh, where is that? Oh, Russia. Yeah, south of that, and yeah, we're not there anymore, but some of us are. So you go
Right.
that route. But like, I
Right. Right.
feel like what social media and the internet did is. Uh, it brought everybody together. Like now
Mm,
we follow people from Nalchik, from Syria, from Middle East, or Circassian, and we
right.
connect. We see how they're living and how they do things. And honestly, the biggest one is the homeland, which is like Kafkaz and whatnot. Like we see exactly how they're rolling, how they're living. Before it was just like a vague idea of, okay, so this is what they do. They don't care about this. They don't care about this. So we make up our own minds, or we hear stories to understand that. But now it's like, okay, we see in how they're living, we see in how they do their weddings, they do how their celebration,
Right.
how they promote themselves, what they preserve and whatnot. And it kind of gave a lot of like newer generation that romantic idea that we had as kids, you know? Like now they look at him like
Yeah.
okay, like look at that, like look at how he's dancing, look how she's acting, like look how, so that maybe they take that and that's their way, or the new generation's way of like looking into their culture. And I think there's a lot of negativity about social media, but I think there's that slight positivity about it as well, which is just connection. Now you can talk to, like I'm talking to you, you're in Turkey, and that's
Yeah.
a benefit of this
Pretty
technology.
cool.
So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
pretty cool. Love it. I think you're right. I think that's the most obvious answer is social media. I agree with everything that you said. I think that that's totally clear. Next question. What culture besides your own do you admire and why?
That's easy. Japan. I love Japan.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to ask me why?
Yeah.
Okay.
So many
I don't know. I
reasons.
feel like, yeah, there's so many reasons, but one of the things I love how cultured they are. Like they're rich. They're rich culturally, and they preserved so much. Yeah, they're so advanced, like in technology and in life, and like modern society. But they still have like they legit have kabza, and forever like who
They
doesn't
do.
know, like they have like legit kabza. The etiquette, the way they treat people, the way like they treat elders, the respect.
Mm,
There's like everybody knows their place in society, and everybody knows what they can give, and everybody appreciates what they can get.
right.
It's obviously like there's bad in there too, but
Right.
like I'm infatuated with them. Like they don't walk into the house with their shoes. Like that's like like it
Yeah.
tells you a lot. Like they have a rack outside, you just put your shoes in, you don't walk in with the shoes in the
Yeah.
house. They have shahatas at the door, you take those shahatas, you walk in. Yeah. So it's like those small intricate details about their culture as well. Like
Right.
intrigues me basically.
Right. Since being in Turkey, I'm
Mm,
trying to make Turkish friends, and even Turks, I'm noticing have so much more like little cultural things that I'm not used to, like just being in America, even though I'm not, I mean, I'm American, right? But like I'm saying Circassian.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
and I feel like that's part of diaspora is that yes, we have things that we do that we consider habza and stuff, but I feel like there's so many little things that we lost. Um, that I
Yeah.
wish I hope in my life I can just like witness,
Bring it back. Oh
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that's my hope is that one day we could just witness those things. Um,
Yeah.
okay, next question. How have you handled switching between cultures based on your setting? So this question, there's an actual word for that. It's called code switching. And
Good
people
to
who
know.
have several layers of cultures tend to do this, depending
Mm.
on what setting they're in. So I just kind of wanted to add that to the conversation because I feel like it's kind of interesting. I feel like I do it, so just to see
Mm.
how other people handle it.
Uh, well, that's a struggle, but I
Yeah,
feel like I've got a nice little balance about it because obviously, like ethnically or culturally, we're Circassian. We have this like history. We never lived it. I never lived in Kafkaz.
right,
So I was born in America. So my beginning of the life, I was the American kid. So I moved to Syria. Now I'm this American kid in Syria. So I
right,
lived my whole life as the American slash Circassian kid in Syria. Then I moved to
right.
America and I became the Syrian kid. Oh, look at this Syrian guy. I'm like, all right, you guys are confusing the
Oh,
hell out of me. I almost said a bad word. Uh, uh, but yeah, like it is tough, but I feel like I got a nice little balance. Like I lived like 16 or whatever years in Syria. I feel like I got a good dose of it and I survived it in a nice way. I learned like I try to take the best out of like the Arabic culture, you know, and keep the best out of the Circassian culture. And when I moved to America, I try to observe because I'm an American. I don't want to live like, like I feel like if you want to live in a place, if I'm moving to Sweden, let's say, I have to understand that these guys are like having me, like
right,
so I have
right,
to respect that they live. I can't force my way into how they lived for thousands of years. So, but I
right.
want to maintain who I am as well. So there's like common etiquette and respect that you have to go with, and just don't be this obnoxious. Oh, I'm Caucasian. This is how we do it. That's how we did it in the Middle East. I'm
Right,
like,
right.
oh, this is not the Middle East. So you
Right.
have to respect a little bit of it, but at the end of the day, there's things that you don't want to like observe, because your
Right.
belief, your religion, or your culture, whatever it is, you choose not to, and that's on you.
So it
Yeah.
seems like you naturally give yourself boundaries. Like I'm gonna
Mm.
stay, I'm gonna take, but I'm also gonna leave. I'm not just gonna take everything in and drop everything off. Like it seems like you process, kind of like culturally, and I think maybe that is because of your layered background growing up. But I
Maybe,
think
yeah.
also traveling
Yeah,
helps with
yeah,
that.
yeah. You witness different people and different cultures. You understand that your way not necessarily is the right way. It's just a
Right,
way, It's just a way of
right.
living. If it's not hurting you or hurting others, then might as well be it. And everybody has their own way, and there's no right and wrong, I think, unless you're doing something really wrong.
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
universally wrong.
Yeah, yeah, universally wrong. Like
Um,
we all agree not to do that.
yeah.
Like, okay, that was messed
Also,
up, guys. Let's not all do it. So,
love it.
yeah.
Okay. Do you have a memory of being engaged in a cultural setting that you remember being so deeply happy in that moment?
Like that has to do with our culture?
Yeah, like
Oh,
something that you're like in a moment where you're like, oh, it's so Circassian, like this
whenever
moment, and I'm
whenever they
just
s-
so happy.
whenever 100%, whenever that chips pasta plate comes to my table,
Ooh.
I'm sold. I get goosebumps, I get the chills, or that first bite of jibna haliva with that sip of tea.
Oh
I'm
man.
sold. I'm proud. I'm happy. I'm ready to take on the world.
Oh
It
my
just has to
God,
be
that's
jibna.
so funny.
It has to be cheese haliva. I'm
Man,
sorry,
you're still
but
hating on the
all
batata?
all the
Come
batata
on.
fans out there, I'm sorry. No disrespect, but it's all
Talk
about the
about balance.
cheese.
You can eat them, you can literally eat them
I'm
at the
biased.
same time. You just put them together and eat. It's good. Batata's good. Oh my
It's
God,
decent. If
Shan.
there's no jibna, I don't mind. Yeah, but honestly, like
There's
food is
always
part of the
jibnit.
culture, and every culture they're so proud of their cuisine. And
True.
I like our cuisine. I mean, I like Italian food too. But like another example, every dance performance I've witnessed, whether it's a professional group like Nalmas or whoever is the case may be, or smaller groups like here
Right.
in America, like the ND era, I get goosebumps. I love it.
Oh,
Sold, happy, chilling, clapping, yelling, screaming. You hear me every recording. You hear me. Let's
there.
go,
Well, I
or whatever we
remember
say.
on your page when I was looking for your picture, there was a picture of you in a fascia. I think because you were in the dance group. I don't know what year that was, but there was a
Mm,
picture, a close up of your face, and you're
yeah,
obviously shouting,
that's
so you're
classic.
super
Yeah.
happy. You can't fake that, you can't fake
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um,
And I
so
think that's
I was like, that's
partially
nice.
passion. I think it's partially passion and partially distraction because I only danced for
Mm,
like a couple of years, maybe a year and a half, and I'm not the most
yeah.
agile, nimble mover of the dance group.
What?
But so my
Come
footwork doesn't
on.
balance, so I'm like, hey, look here. Look how passionate I am. So I give it that little extra dose of
That's so
passion
funny.
because you don't want to see my feet and then see
There
a
you
like
go.
a legit dancer's feet. And then I'm like, okay, I see who danced for 16 years. So so I'm like, hey,
That's
focus here, look
hilarious.
at my handwork, look at my handwork. So it is passion and distraction, I would call
That's
it.
so funny.
Mm,
That's so funny. Thank
yeah.
you for sharing that. Um, do you have any hopes for the future of the community you're a part of, which is the New Jersey community, or like the
Mm.
Caucasian, Kafkas, Caucasus, community in general? Do you have anything like you hope for our people?
The thing is, like, I do have hope, but I don't know what's the hope. Like, what are we hoping for? That's
Mm,
the question. Like, where do we go from
okay,
here?
right.
So we are in a good place, I would say. We don't have a place that we call home, like Italy or Japan or Turkey, but we
Right.
still are maintaining our culture. So hope, I feel like it's just a tough concept, and what is it exactly? Like, what are we trying? Like, you need to a goal to have hope.
Right. Right.
So if our goal is to maintain who we are in from distance, then we're achieving it. If our hope
True.
is to accomplish something bigger, then I don't think we are. But I'm at a place where I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Mm.
But the only thing that I'm losing hope is language, and particularly like
Right.
learning Adigabza, which I don't. As proud as I am and as passionate I am, I failed in that part. Maybe I will learn it. I picked up a little bit on certain things. Like now I start like at one point I was able to read the alphabet and I was
Oh.
able to, yeah, and like no, I can write and read. Like I understood the alphabet, but like to handle a conversation, no way. And I think
Mm.
that's on me and as an individual and as a community. I think that's part partially one of the biggest things that we're losing and one of the biggest things that we need to save in order to
Right.
have hope of maintaining, because I would say it's 80% gone in diaspora, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm part of the
Yeah.
problem. I'm not
Yeah.
judging. So
No, I'm the same.
yeah,
I don't speak it. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
I know whatever I know is basically from when I was in the dance group.
yeah,
And
yeah,
because I haven't had a lot of Circassian talking around me in a
yeah,
really
yeah,
long time,
yeah.
whatever I
I'm
thought
not
I
making
knew, I'm
excuses.
pretty sure.
I'm not trying to make excuses,
Yeah.
but I had like my first language was English, and then when I moved to Syria, I had to learn Arabic to function in a Arabic society. So I
Yeah.
feel like I didn't have enough time. And again, it's all excuses. If you wanted something bad enough, you're gonna do it. But if
Yeah.
anything, I was just too lazy to learn a third language at that time. Maybe, yeah, maybe I will.
No, it's
Yeah,
hard though. It's hard
yeah,
though.
it is hard, and especially
In,
the like
in
the letters and the wordings are very hard. You know, like
yeah, yeah.
you hear them in
I
English, and
mean,
it's funny when they say cabarde, you know, and we hear one
it's
say
yeah, because
cabarde, you know,
it's the
cabarde. It's
pronunciation, it's the reading, writing, it's vocabulary. I mean,
yeah, yeah,
and
and now you
it's
have
all
to
of it.
learn Turkish because you live in Turkey, so
Yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of funny. So in Turkey, there's so many Sherkas that are here. So I'm trying to get involved in the best way that I can with our like lifestyle with the Circassian community here. And when I mentioned like, oh, we don't speak Circassian and whatever, I got people saying, oh, but there's classes, there's this class, and then there's this class, and I'm like, what?
yeah, yeah,
So I don't know if it's just because they have the numbers that there is just more of like things available for people who want to do those activities. Um,
hmm
but I do have some hope. And geographically being here where I'm closer to the Caucasus than I've
yeah,
ever
yeah.
been.
Do you feel
Um,
connected more?
so I a little bit, yeah,
Yeah,
like a little bit.
and
Like
there's a
for
lot of
when I
you
introduced
know,
myself,
they know who you are. You don't have to explain too much.
they do.
Yeah, yeah,
Cherkez from California. I say California because I lived there like the whole
yeah.
last part of my
I told
life.
my friend
But
for her that I think we're cutting off.
no, you're here.
Hello, you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I
You're
told my
good.
friend here, that I'm from the North Caucasus. He said, North to
Mm.
Caucasus? So it's confusing. For those who don't know, we have a town in New Jersey. It's called Secaucus. So,
Secaucus.
but yeah,
Oh my
that's about it.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is the last question that you had circled for me. Um, do you think culture could play a part in coping with anxiety, grief, sadness, or depression? Basically, all of the dark parts of the human experience. Do you think culture could help with any of those things?
I think I think any culture helps in a certain way. Um, I still believe that we are uh, tribal, you know,
Mm,
as in nature, like we are basically we run in packs. We can't I mean, we can. There's some survival shows that people build shelters and whatnot, but like
right.
I feel like we need a community to survive. Like and people like especially mentally, a lot of people like go to like a church, go to like a mosque, go to a community, go to like people who don't have like a community like that is culturally different than where they are. I feel like they always try to like
Mm,
join a group and be part of something. And it's beautiful to be part of something and feel like you belong to someone because humanity is such a big and vague like idea that like sometimes you feel disconnected because you don't see these humans coming to you and talking to you and asking you and being there for you and stuff like that. And as sad as it is, like
Yeah.
sometimes you don't notice it until like you're in that place of sorrow or loss or grief. Like when you lose a loved one, you see people in the community are there for you, condolences and hugging you.
Right.
Like those, like for people who never experienced that, they come in handy. So if you're around someone that lost a loved one uh, are in grief or something like that, like it's so fulfilling to have someone telling you it's gonna be fine, it's gonna be okay. So
Right.
that community, as much as it gets tough to like be part of it because you feel like it's so demanding and it's on, like on top of everything, they're watching you and whatnot. When you need it, it's beautiful, and when they're there, it's just like that, just that amazing. And but I think it does as much as it helps with that. I do think it kind of affects in a reverse way if it's implemented in a wrong way.
Mm.
Like I think it might give you depression and anxiety being part of a community because like
Right.
because you feel
Yeah.
like obligated. You feel like you have to explain yourself. You feel like you have to give something for others that you don't want to give really, like just like dedication or work or time or effort or energy. So it does kind of maybe feel like if people feel a little bit pressured, it might turn the opposite way and they feel like, okay, I want to walk out of this rather than embrace it. And I think that's what happens in diaspora mostly, where people are just like,
Yeah.
you're Circassian, but you live in Syria or Turkey or Germany or America, and you feel like
Right.
you want to be part of the community you're living in, which is the America, but then you feel like there's something pulling you back, which is your culture and family,
Right.
and that could
Yeah.
be like culture, like a whole community, and it can be your parents. Like
Yeah.
it's very like intricate, and hopefully it doesn't affect as much, and hopefully people learn to put it out in a nicer way for like next generations to appreciate it more rather than resent it.
Mm-hmm.
To.
I everything that you said, I completely resonate with. And that's one of the hopefully things that we can use this platform to talk about.
Hmm.
Because I feel like there's a lot of ways that we get pulled out of our culture and get absorbed maybe into another culture. And
Mm.
it is these forces from inside that sometimes feel like they're pulling you that way or pushing you, I should say.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and I personally experienced it. I'm sure I would, when I was a teenager and young 20s, I felt that way. It was very confusing because you know how you said in the beginning, you had a very romantic idea about culture, and
Culture.
then
Yeah, yeah.
you go through at some point you go through a period where you're just like, what's going on here,
Yeah.
and you kind of you have to decide, am I going to bounce back in, or am I just going to throw my cards and say I'm out? And that's with a lot
Hmm.
of things, I think, related to our identity. We have to choose. Um, Ethnicity is different because you're always going to be where you're from, but
Yeah.
especially when you're in diaspora, and like I feel like Caucasians and Circassians in general, because we're
Mm.
so removed at this point, um,
Mm.
and we blend in easily with other people, in our
Mm.
demographics, unless you're living in,
So you think,
like Kenya, for example.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you think there's it doesn't necessarily has to be black and white. There's like a gray area where you can like maintain and observe and be balanced and be
I
happy
think
with it.
so. And
Yeah.
I think that comes from having an authentic like relationship with your culture that you're comfortable with having. So
Mm.
that's also something on this page, like why I want to talk to people, because we each have a unique journey with our cultural identity, and sometimes we see it in like an artist's work. They connect with their culture through an art, or a chef will connect
Mm.
through food, or so many different ways. And I just think that when we find a way that might be a little bit outside of the like what I like to describe as a tunnel. Sometimes it feels like it's a very narrow tunnel of what's acceptable Circassian, for example, because I'm Circassian, you're Circassian, expressions of culture. If we allow ourselves to go out of that a little bit, we might be able to find that place where, oh my God, look, like I'm actually really enjoying this experience, this life experience of being Circassian. It doesn't look
Mm,
like what everybody else is doing, but I get to like
yeah,
connect with my ethnicity in a more like way that resonates with me. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah. So, but
And
I
obviously your page is like Caucasian, and it explains the
right,
like what is Caucasian. You always hear Caucasian, that means it's a white
right,
guy or
right.
something like that. But like you
Oh,
are the actual Caucasian. Hey,
oh.
where this we come from?
I'm
And
trying to
then
take it back, Shan. I'm trying to take that word
yeah, yeah.
back. I want it back, you
Good
know?
luck.
I know.
Good
Well,
luck.
you know, the more we talk about it, the just, you know,
Mm.
I see this conversation actually all over the internet. I see it on TikTok, Instagram. Um, I guess that's all I'm where I am.
Yeah, yeah,
YouTube, I see it
yeah,
there too, where people
yeah,
explain, you know, the word Caucasian, the way that it's used is incorrect. And why?
yeah.
The history of it. Like I'm such a it's such a thing, it's a thorn in my side. So hopefully with this page, I'm gonna be making infographics all like I'm just busting them out. Like, nope, that's
They took
taking
that
it
away,
back.
but it's okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
everybody knows
And
the
then
word, but nobody knows
yeah,
where that word's from.
yeah. And then like shout out to all Caucasians from all the Caucasus.
Right,
Like my mom is Abaza, so
right,
shout out to those guys too, you know?
right.
Kabardin,
And I want
Nabardin,
to have
Abzan.
conversations with everybody,
Yeah.
everybody. Like if we could just connect with Azerbaijan and Chechens
Armenians.
and everybody, let's bring them all in. Why not? You
Yeah.
know, I love it.
I'm
Because
down.
I don't know about you, but I feel like I just don't know enough about my own neighbors from that region.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And this is
focused
a good
on
way
being
to learn.
Circassian, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
And it's so
just
much you
trying to
can
learn,
learn from
do my
neighbors,
best.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And hey, I want to
So
salute
that's
you
what
for your
we're,
effort. Like, I give you mad props for this, and
oh, thanks.
I support you and anything you need, and we're here. We're partying,
Thank you. Thank you so much, Shan. And again,
of
thank you for
course.
joining me on this maiden voyage, I'm calling it, of this page. I want my feed to be face after face after face of
And you
people
choose
like
this one to start with?
yes,
I
yes, you're so kind. And
should have.
you guys, Shan literally was like, I didn't even read the questions, but sure, I'll do it. And happy to do it, sure. And I was like, this is awesome, thank you so much. So hopefully people who are watching that I've messaged that are like, yeah, I just have to think about it. I hope you
Just
can
do
see
it.
that this is very
Just watch
comfortable.
what you
It's
say. It's live. No, I'm
yeah.
kidding.
The internet does
No, yeah, but
bleed.
that was sweet.
Media.
And then you have to save this. So this is going to be posted?
Yes. So if this is
Oh.
going to, I've never done this before. Oh, look, Narzan Resh. 10% off your next wedding. Shancad 10. That's hilarious. That's
Shan
hilarious.
Shan Shan
Um,
Kodakoi.
yeah, that's so funny, Narzan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've never done this from my end before, but what's supposed to happen is it's supposed to post to my grid and then you can
Okay.
watch this. Anybody could watch this. So um,
Well, I'm
I want
sorry
to
for
say
whoever
thank
wants
you
to.
also to everybody who came. Oh, I want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in. I hope talking to Shan and having these conversations sparked some kind of creativity. Message me if you want to come and have a conversation similar to this. I have questions. I'm trying to build up questions. And I feel like even if we say the same question 20 times, everyone's going to have a unique answer. So hopefully it's not going to be redundant or anything. But again, Shan, thank you so much for your time. I hope you have a great day.
One more
Um,
thing. Shout out to my boys.
sure.
Always move forward. Never look backwards. They'll
There
know.
you
It's an
go.
inside joke. Nobody's gonna get it though.
I'm
Salam
sure.
alaikum.
I'm sure. Walaikum
And
assalam.
my niece, Wiso, she said, hi, I'm Moshan. So,
I saw.
Wiso, if you're
I
still
saw.
listening, I'm here for you. Cutie
I
patootie.
saw.
All right, Noor,
Oh,
thank you so much.
all right. Thank
I'll
you.
talk to you soon.
Have a
Take
nice
care. Bye
day.
bye.
Thank you.
I don't know how to hang
Bye.
up, so I'm just gonna do something.
Me
Bye.
too. I'm just gonna like press buttons. So hold on.
All right. Bye. Bye bye.
Bye. X.